Hey, so I'm supposed to be mowing the lawn, but I can't. I gotta pick dandelions. Welcome to my usual homestead. Okay, guys, we had to wait for the dandelions to open up because it was too early in the morning. But let me show you. As you can see, we have a lot of dandelions in my yard. This is my yard, my front yard, well, my wife's yard. But I insisted that we um, that we cultivate dandelions for a couple of years. So this is what we got, and it is more than I expected. I've been cultivating these for the last couple of years, so that's quite a few, as you can see. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna get we're gonna get some flowers. I had to wait for these flowers to open because they were not wanting to open. So you go ahead and just get where you can see us without this camera falling over. And so if you're not familiar with dandelions, dandelions are, well, I don't know why you wouldn't be familiar with dandelions, but these guys, yellow flowers, sawtooth edged leaves. Let's grab a couple leaves out of here. It's like just like that. Let's see if you can see it. So that's what they look like. And you know, they're named after a lion's tooth because that's what they figured they looked like back in the day. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm not gonna do anything with the stems or the roots today. We're just gonna do some cooking with the flowers. So I'm just gonna grab some flowers here and some leaves, and then we're gonna go inside, and I've got 3 dishes I'm gonna make for you with dandelion flowers and dandelion leaves. We're gonna go and I'm gonna do a roast potato with a orange dandelion flower vinaigrette. We're going to do dandelion leaf chips, and then we're going to do, oh, what was the other thing? Oh, I'm going to do sautéed dandelion leaves with bacon, mushrooms, and sun-dried tomatoes. So that's what we're doing today. So I'm going to go ahead and pick all these, and then we're going to go ahead and go back into the kitchen, and we'll get started. Alrighty, guys, well, this is going to be the dandelions we're going to use today. I think this will be enough for what we need. I'm not feeding an army, I'm just feeding myself. So, and it's 2 dishes really. So we're going to go ahead and take the biggest leaves that we've got, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to try chips with these. Now I've heard that you can make chips out of these. I've never made chips out of these before. So you're basically going to coat these in olive oil, salt, and pepper, and then throw them in the oven at 325, and just for like 10 minutes, because they're so small. That's where I'm having my doubts. They're so small, I don't know if they're going to crisp up or if they're going to burn. So we got to be really careful about that. Now these flowers, obviously you want to wash and dry all of your stuff. I'm going to do that off camera. But these flowers, you're going to want to go ahead and you want to take from this green part here. You want to take this green part off. And go ahead and we're going to sort of pull this like so. Just pull these little flowers, these little petals off. And we're going to check this. I'll put that right there. I'm going to put these in here. And then what we'll do, I'm going to wash my flowers first, and we need to dry them off. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to do that. We're just going to, and that's going to be the basis of our vinaigrette. And well, it's going to be an addition to our vinaigrette. And it's also going to top our saute, and it's going to be in our, it's just going to top our potatoes as well. So, all right, I'm going to go ahead and get this washed up, guys, and then we'll be right back. You see a lot of other goodies in here. We're going to go ahead and add to our stuff. So, okay, I'll be right back. Okay, guys, well, I went ahead and I used about half of the dandelions that I had, the heads. I didn't really need all of them. And we've got this in the bottom of the bowl right now. I think that's going to do for our purposes because we're not going to do very much today. And a little with the dandelion petals goes a long way. Now, there's still some green in there, but I took the green off because you can leave it on. The whole plant is edible. And so, but it gets a little bitter. So you want to go ahead and take as much of that green out as you can. You don't have to get it all out. It's not a big deal. I'm going to take these out of the way, and I'm going to go ahead and we're going to start our vinaigrette. All right, let's go ahead and we're just going to use a pint jar. It's really simple. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use about a quarter cup. This is a half cup, but I'm going to use a quarter cup of olive oil. Actually, you know what? Maybe I will use a half cup of olive oil. Yeah, we're going to use a half cup of olive oil. That's fine. And that'll get us going. It's extra virgin olive oil, just generic brand from Kroger or from, you know, any of your grocery stores is fine. I'm almost out of olive oil too. I'm going to have to go get some more. So we're going to start with that. And then I'm going to use about half of that in apple cider vinegar. Actually, I tell you what, I'm going to use a quarter of that in apple cider vinegar, and then I'm going to use orange juice for the rest. All right, so we're just gonna add a little bit of orange juice right there. It's probably a little bit more than we need, but that's okay. Doesn't have to be, it's not exact science. We're not doing rocket science here. All right, and then we're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna do a little garlic. I'm thinking about a hefty teaspoon of diced garlic, minced garlic. Just a pinch of salt. Over the shoulder, over the shoulder. You know what I mean. If you know, you know. Fresh ground pepper would be better, but I don't have any fresh ground pepper, so we're just gonna use a little bit of regular pepper for that. And then we're gonna go with a hefty pinch of our dandelion, because the dandelion is what's gonna make this what it is. So we're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna use a lot of this dandelion in here. And then we're gonna use our spoon to spoon it out of here when we're done. Oh wait, we need a little sweetness. Because I'm not using sugar anymore, I'm gonna use stevia, and I'm actually not gonna use the leaf today. I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna use just stevia out of a jar. That's what we're gonna do. So because stevia is so strong and this is such a small amount, I'm really thinking a quarter teaspoon at most should do the trick. And that might be too much because stevia is really strong. And anybody saying that, well, stevia, you know, it's bitter or whatever. Yeah, it's bitter. It is, for sure, for sure. But so is dandelion. Dandelion's bitter. And so you have to expect that. I'm going to shake this up. And then we're going to go ahead and put that aside for just a little bit. You know, sorry, you couldn't see it. There we go. It's going to be pretty thick. And so we're going to put this on potatoes. So this is going to be our potato dressing. And I have roasted potatoes in the oven. I've got to take them out right now. They're nice and crispy. I'm going to show you. And then I'm going to put that on last minute because I don't want them to get soggy right before I eat. Okay, these are our roasted potatoes right here. I'm going to leave those off to the side right quick. We'll throw those in the oven to heat them up at the end. But right now, this hot pan that's sitting in here, I don't think I need much olive oil for these chips. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to lay these down on here, and we'll drizzle a little olive oil over the top. But I used olive oil for my potatoes, so I don't think I'm going to need much. I think this is going to do just fine. And they're already starting to crisp. I mean, they're already starting to, look at that. You can hear them. They're already starting to fry. I don't know if you can hear that. You probably can't because I'm using a mic. But you can see them. You can see them pop, man. Already, this pan was at 400 degrees. I finished off my potatoes at 400 degrees. I cooked them for 350 for about an hour, and then I finished them for another 15 minutes at 400 degrees is what I did. These chips might just do their thing right there. Let's go ahead and I'm going to throw those in the oven. Let me put a little salt and pepper on them. A little bit of salt. Now I had salt and pepper in the pan, so it shouldn't make too much of a difference. I don't know. I have my doubts about these. You hear people talk about things on YouTube or, you know, on a video or a recipe online, and I don't know how much sometimes people they embellish. They embellish. So let's flip these a couple times. This pan's a little dry, but it's not too bad. You can just stroke these a little bit, stroke the leaves, get them all shiny. I don't want to use any more product than I have to, and it really, as small as these leaves are, I don't really think that they need much, you know? I think that, that is a little bit warm. Still, Pyrex glass dishes. I'm a big fan of glass, guys, as you can tell. I don't like aluminum. I won't use aluminum. Stainless steel is great. You know, any ceramic is amazing. All right, I'm going to put these in the oven just for about, not very long at all. I just don't know about these. We're going to find out. We're going to find out. Ooh, that's warm. All right, let's just throw these in the oven. And I'm not even going to turn the oven back on. We're just going to let those sit there and just for about 5 or 10 minutes while I go ahead and I'm going to break out the skillet, and we're going to go ahead and I'm going to start sauteing up all this stuff. All right, guys. So you know the name of my channel, My Usual Homestead. If you don't know me by now, I'm telling you, I am simple. I am easy. I am just basic. And so this skillet, when you replace, obviously you can see the Teflon's coming off the side. Don't use your skillet to this point. Do as I say, not as I do, but I'm going to use it today because my workspace is really small. So that's what we're using. All right, guys, right out of the gate, we're at a smoking hot pan. Let's go ahead and throw some bacon in here. This is some thick cut strips of bacon because I want bacon. We're not going to use olive oil. We're going to use bacon fat to cook these greens up in. All right. Let's get this working. Smells like bacon. I have not had bacon in this house in a long time. We don't normally get it because it's expensive, but I got it for cheap. So I thought, why not? We're going to do that. Actually, you know what? I think I am going to add a little olive oil. Let's turn this down just a skosh. Just a little bit of olive oil. Now we're going to add our mushrooms. Mushrooms, thick mushrooms. I love me some mushrooms, man. Now we're not going to be using all of this mixture for our greens because this is way too much for the amount of greens I've got. But this will do for now. Get these separated out. We'll let it sit, do its thing. I have to drain these right quick. Sorry about the bump. Is I've got some rehydrated sun-dried tomatoes that I grew in my garden. So I'm going to go ahead and add that to the mix as well. Just add that right there. And we'll get those mushrooms steaming because it's got a little water in it. Now, if you want your bacon crispy, obviously cook it crispy. I don't really care. This is going to be fine. There we go. Let's get a nice color to it. Because it's bacon, I'm not going to salt it, but I am going to pepper it. Not too much, not too heavy. You know what? Nah. We'll let this go for just another minute or two, and then we'll go ahead and we'll throw our leaves in there. Oh, I almost forgot my garlic. We can't forget our garlic. Let's throw that in there. About a teaspoon of garlic. I don't want the garlic to burn; it'll get bitter. I mean, we're working with bitter greens already, so I wanted something. You got to balance bitter with different things like savory, sweet, umami, salty, tangy. You can balance it with one of those, then you're going to have a little bit more easier of a time with it. Also, a little bit of fact about the dandelions. They were brought over by Europeans when we first colonized this country, and they went everywhere. So there's another thing you can blame on us. And so dandelion leaves have vitamin A, vitamin C, you got vitamin K, calcium, potassium, iron, magnesium. And I'm reading off the paper because I forget. The flowers contain antioxidants such as lutein and beta carotene, and they've got anti-inflammatory properties and mild analgesic effects, which I kind of knew all of this anyway as I was growing up. I knew that they were nutrient-dense plants, but they've actually broken it down. Now the roots, let me see, what did it say about the roots again? It's a prebiotic. And it supports the growth of beneficial gut bacteria. Good source of potassium, antioxidants, phenolic compounds, which protect your cells from damage, supports liver function, helps detoxify the body, and process toxins. Yeah, you can use the stems as well. There's not as much for the stems. Mostly that was for herbal medicinal purposes for skin conditions. The sap in the stems, but you can eat the whole plant. You can eat the whole plant. It's amazing. Now, obviously, the younger leaves are going to be less bitter than the bigger leaves. All right, I think we're ready. I think I am going to put all these in here, to be honest. Let's go ahead and just throw these in here right quick. And I'm going to add a little bit of water to steam. And then we'll mix this up, and we'll call this good. Just a little bit there. We don't want these too soggy, but I want these to steam and wilt pretty quick. I don't want to put these on the heat too long because the longer you leave anything on the heat, the less nutrients you get from it. So that's my whole reason for just steaming these. And the tomatoes are actually starting to make a paste here, or making a little sauce, which is really good. I'm liking that. It's probably too much bacon, too much mushroom, because, you know, I mean, bacon, I mean, it's more bacon and mushroom than it is veggie, but we're going to pull most of the veggie out, and I'll save some of those bacon and mushrooms for later. That's what we'll do. It smells delicious. It smells really good. You know, I'm left-handed, which is why my hand keeps blocking the camera, guys. So I apologize. I'll start using my right hand. All right, we're almost there. These stems are going to be kind of a little bit tougher than normal. So, not normal, tougher than, like, say, a spinach stem. Not really, but I want to make sure that we get these nice and, I mean, properly sauteed up. So I'm quit playing with my food here. We'll let it sit for a minute. You could cover this obviously with a lid, but I want you guys to see it, so we're not going to do that. Like I said, we don't need salt because we have bacon, so it's fine. All right, so here we go. This should be done. Go ahead and put this on a plate right like this. I got to use my right hand because you can block in the camera. So got these up here. Almost looks a little bit like a collard green, huh? Maybe. You know what? A couple more mushrooms on the side here. That's looking okay. To clean my plate up, but I think that's going to do it for our sauteed dandelion greens. So we'll go ahead and put those aside real quick. And actually, no, we won't. I almost forgot the best part. We're going to use a little bit of crushed up almonds on the top, just for a little bit of crunch. There we go. That's better. That's much better. Now that didn't take very long. So now we've got our potatoes in here, and we're going to go ahead and grab that dressing of mine, and we'll shake it up, give it a good shake, and we're just going to go ahead. I was going to spoon this in. Yeah, I think I will spoon this over. And I don't need that many potatoes in there. So because the wife wasn't sure about dandelions because she never tried them, we're going to reserve some of these for the wife because she's not sure. And I'm gloved up, so we're good to go. So that's going to be enough for a decent portion right there, I think. And then we'll just drizzle this on here, like so. And they should coat this pretty well. So this is going to be similar to a German potato salad, kind of, except it's going to be crispy. If you can get it on the table fast enough, oh, I can smell that vinegar, man. So this is going to be an orange vinaigrette dandelion roast potato salad. And let me go ahead and throw this on a plate. Actually, I don't want all the stuff that's in the bottom of the bowl. We want to keep this stuff that's in the, here we go. And then just to garnish it up a little bit, we're going to go ahead and just to freshen her up, make her look a little pretty, or not, up to you. There we go, like so, like so. I think that'll do. We're going to taste these in a minute, so, all right. And as they say, proof is in the pudding. These are those sad little chips, man. I don't know. I'm not sure about this. By the way, I'm raising my voice, and I know my mic's picking it up too. Okay, they crisped up. They crisped up quite a bit, actually. All right, so we're gonna see how these turned out. I'm kind of surprised, and I didn't even turn the oven on. I just left it after it was at 400 degrees, and I pulled the potatoes out. I just went ahead and left them in here. I mean, that ambient heat really, yeah, I can feel the crispness. I'm kind of surprised. See if we can get, because this is really still super hot. The oven's been turned off for like 10 minutes. All right, well, there you have it, guys. There's your dandelion chips. Let's go ahead and I'm going to take you over to the living room table because it's the only space I've got, and we're going to sit down and I'm going to try them all, and we're going to see how they are. Okay, guys, this is it. And unfortunately, the way the camera is, I don't have access to a wide-angle lens. I'm using my phone, so this is what we're going to do. So this is the sauteed greens with the sun-dried tomatoes, bacon, and mushrooms. Go ahead and give this a little whirl here. Oh, and crushed up almonds. So So immediately when it hit my mouth, I thought spinach. You know, they talk about how bitter dandelions are, but they're not bitter. I mean, sure, it's got a little bitter to it, got some earthiness to it, but the tomato really helped balance it out. I can already taste it. If they just got a mouthful of green and the saltiness from the bacon, of course, helped flavor it, but the tomato helped balance that. I mean, that tanginess of the tomato helped balance that bitterness of the green. It really, really was good. It worked out really well. I'm really pretty happy with this. I'm gonna have another bite. Only this time I'm gonna get with a little bacon and a mushroom. Let's do that. Okay. A little hard to swallow because of how long they are. And those stems, I should have cut them in half. I didn't do that. It's my fault. This is really good. I like this a lot. And I think the wife would like it too. Okay. Next we have our roasted potatoes. Sorry, you're right there. We have our roasted potatoes with our orange dandelion vinaigrette. And I don't know that it's actually even going to matter. Let me taste. Actually, I need a glass of water. Let me go get a glass of water so I can wash my mouth out and cleanse my palate. Because otherwise, all I'm going to do is I'm just going to taste the greens, the sauteed greens. So let me do that. I'll be right back. Okay. All right. Let's try this again. So we got our roasted potatoes with our orange dandelion vinaigrette. And I wanted to taste the dandelions themselves first, now that they've had a chance for that vinegar to air out a little bit, because it's been about 5 or 6 minutes. So with your vinaigrette, it's going to taste like oil and vinegar. That's it, right? For the most part. And then whatever else you add to it, like I added garlic. I can taste the dandelion, but it's real little. It's really minimal. So if you wanted to use this to brighten up a dish, 100%. It's not going to overpower it at all. And the flowers, when you get the green off of them, they're not bitter. Matter of fact, somehow, I put the stevia in there, didn't I? In the vinaigrette. I was like, it tastes kind of sweet. Yeah. Not overpowering. This potato set for a minute, so it's a little chewy. But okay. Definitely has a bright floral flavor to it. I can't really describe it any other way. It's not bitter. But then again, all those other flavors are probably hiding it. I don't really know what else you could do with the dandelion flower except dry it out and make a tea, which we will do in a future video. I will be doing more dandelion stuff. This has got me happy that I have so many dandelions in my yard. Always remember though, 2 things. Never collect anything that, I mean, I'm next to the road, but I've got a wall from between me and the cars. I mean, if you as far away from the vehicles as you can get, and make sure that they're not being sprayed. But if they look healthy, they're probably healthy. I mean, I would say. But I mean, if you get sick, that's not my fault. Okay, don't be stupid. I mean, don't be stupid, as Philip DeFranco says. And before they get too cold and get soggy, let's go ahead and let's check out these dandelion chips right here. These little, go ahead, put them up, little dandelion chips right there. There we go. All right, I'm gonna try one that seems crispy. Maybe. Try this little baby one right here. Let's see. Crispy. No bitterness. I'm not tasting any bitter. I've never had a kale chip before, but I kind of feel like this is going to be what a kale chip would be like. That's crisping up. They have no substance to them. Like this will not, you're not going to eat a bag of these and be sated for sure. So as soon as they hit your mouth, they crunch and they go away. And that's it. And You know, they sat in a 350, 375 degree oven for 10 minutes maybe. I could see how you could burn these really easy, but I wonder if you can hear that crisp, that crunch. Definitely as a garnish, this would be a nice little garnish for sure, for sure. Sitting on top of something. Yeah, I could see this as a garnish. I don't really know of, I mean, I'm not going to go out, I don't know. I might go out and collect the leaves and just spray them with olive oil, salt and pepper, throw them in the oven for a couple of minutes and sit there watching a movie and just eat dandelion chips. Maybe. I don't know. Probably not. Let's open a bag of chips. But like I said, vitamin A, vitamin C, vitamin K, potassium. Did I say potassium? Let me get my paper. I want to make sure. Yeah, for sure, for sure. By the way, everybody's reading off a script on a YouTube video, so I'm not doing anything new. I'm just letting you know that I'm doing it. So calcium, potassium, iron, manganese. Of course, it has fiber. Of course, it has fiber. It's a plant. That's the leaves. Dandelion flower, antioxidants, lutein, beta carotene. Has analgesic effects. Now, when it says analgesic, that means that it has a mild. They call it a mild painkiller. But when I asked about this, it's not going to compare to aspirin. You're not going to be able to eat this because you have a headache or you have a bone ache and make it go away. I've seen the titles for some of these videos about a salve for dandelions. I'm going to make one, but I don't. And my knees, I'll put them on my knees and I'll tell you if it works. I don't think it's going to work. I think you're better off with aspirin or acetaminophen. If I'm being honest, because that's what they do. They take plants and they concentrate them and they sell them, for a profit. Big pharma. That's what they do. Well, they synthesize them, but they get them from plants. It's where they got all their ingredients from, all their ideas. Anyway, stems contain fiber and trace minerals. Been traditionally used to treat digestive issues such as constipation and bloating. However, I also read that they also were for skin conditions like eczema and whatnot. So if you have a skin condition, maybe take the sap, rub it on your skin, see how it is. But always do a skin test. That's what I was going to say. Besides, don't eat anything that's been sprayed, which should be obvious. Make sure that you do a skin test and talk to your doctor. And if you're pregnant, make sure you talk to your doctor, please. I want to make sure that you were clear on that. So, and then dandelion roots are rich in inulin, which is a type of soluble fibers. It acts as a prebiotic. A lot of things have inulin in them. It goes and it just feeds your good gut bacteria. That's all it is. And the roots are good source of potassium. Now this is a thing. When we were talking on my other channel, My Usual Me Daily Games. There you go. There's the plug for the day. When we were talking about dandelion roots, and he's like, it's a coffee substitute. It's not a coffee. There's no substitute for coffee except coffee. If it doesn't have caffeine in it, I don't want to hear that. That's what they call it. But it's got a lot of good stuff in it. So, I'll be digging up some roots. I'm going to take the leaves, the flowers, the stems, and the roots, and I'm going to show you my dehydration chamber that I've got, that I bought. I bought at not Walmart, Amazon. And it's, you'll see it. I'm going to stuff it full of dandelions, and we're going to dry it, and then I'm going to keep it, and we're going to turn it into powder, and I'm going to make a super powder that you can eat just 1 tablespoon a day. And this is like a multivitamin. Really, is what it's feeling like to me, like a pretty good multivitamin. And it's not that bitter. People are always talking about the bitterness of it. Maybe after it's dried and concentrated, but the way I cooked it, no, not at all. But you do need to balance your bitter with tangy, salty, sweet, umami. Did I get them all? And spicy, really. Spicy is another one. Then you get your 5 or 6 flavors depending on who you're talking to. So flavor profiles, that is. And so if you can get all of them in a dish, then they all balance each other, and you eat them. Your belly is happy. Hard to balance that though. When you're just messing around with stuff I have around the house. I did plan a little bit. I did buy the bacon, but everything else I had here at the house. So let's see what else we got on the dandelion roots. I'm sorry I'm babbling. I know I'm going on, but I'm kind of hanging out with you guys. Let's see. Oh, it supports liver function, and it is a mild diuretic, which means you're going to pee. I might have to pee a lot here. I only ate a couple bites though, but I'll probably go back and finish those greens. But anyway, so I mean, it helps reduce water retention, which means you're probably going to pee. But it shouldn't. It said mild, so it shouldn't be too bad. And it helps constipation, indigestion, heartburn. This is the roots we're still talking about. And yeah, that's it. I think that's it, guys. So I think I want to call this a success. I'm pretty happy about it. It's pretty yummy. And yeah, so hopefully you guys, you enjoyed the video. And if you learned something, that's great. If you liked what you saw, give us a thumbs up. And if I earn your subscription, don't forget to hit that bell icon for notifications. As I always say, I am my usual me. You be your usual you. And we'll see you in the next episode of My Usual Homestead. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I appreciate you. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.